What's good, all you UFC fans? It's your boy DC Kai here, and we here with UFC 269, the aftermath. My takeaways of what I seen in the octagon, what I what I heard going into the fight, and just how I overall feel about the things that transpired last night. If you missed it, I mean, from top to bottom, just was a crazy card with stoppages early, some upsets, just everything that you wanted and more. People, hindsight is 2020, but you can ask. Well, you can't ask my homeboy because you don't know my homeboy. So, I had Juliana Pena beating Amanda Nunes. I call me a liar if you want to. It's cool. It's cool, but I literally told my homeboy that I felt that she had the gas tank to put her out, and I seen Juliana take shots well when she went against Valentina Shevchenko. She took a few shots even though she got submitted, but she wasn't afraid. Like when she went against Shevchenko, you can see the fear in a lot of girls when they go against Amanda Nunes, the Shevchenkos at a point of time, the Ronda Rouseys. You can see the fear in the other girl's eyes. Juliana didn't have that. She, when she looked and when she talked about like this is, people be calling out people, and then they fold. I'm not trying to throw any fighters under the bus or anything like that, but Yuna Kinskaya, I forgot how to exactly how to pronounce her name, or even Megan Anderson. Um, I just never felt like there were big 145ers, and Yuna Kinskaya, I think she's 135. Um, when they hit, when they got hit, it was like, oh my god, it's I don't want to be here anymore. I never got that from Juliana Pena, and I wouldn't be able to tell until she actually got hit by Amanda. But one of the things about Amanda has always been, her cardio. But I'm getting off topic. I want to start off with my boy, which it pains me, man. It pains me to even, uh, pronounce this or confess this, but Cody Garbrandt, he might need to get cut. That's it sucks, man. It sucks to say such a thing like that, but pulling up his record, looking at his record. Excuse me. No, I'm not cutting that out. People sneeze, people sneeze. But pulling up his record, and looking, you know, at his accomplishments, it's crazy. His accomplishments are crazy. UFC champion. Just a savage. But he's man. If I look at my notes, my guy's 1-6, 1-5 in his last 6 fights, and that's a no-no in the UFC. You get cut for things like that in the UFC. So, what would make Cody Garbrandt any different? Like, I'm gonna pull up his stuff right quick. I thought I already had it up, but we're gonna pull it up right here. Cody No Love. He's 70. He's 7. What is he? He's 7-5. Wow. He's 7-5 in his UFC career. He's 12-5 overall. With man, it sucks that have to sit up here and talk about Cody Garbrandt like this. One of my favorite fighters from Team Alpha Male. Outside of Uriah Faber, which I said multiple times that Uriah Faber is one of the reasons why I got into UFC. Back in the WEC days, just looking at him, how exciting he was. They used to always, he's a buzzsaw. He's cutting through all these people. So following his fighters along with T.J. Dillashaw, along with Andre Touchy Philly, T.J. Grant, what's that other guy's name? I can't think of him off the head right now. But following those fighters in the UFC, so when Cody got that championship, I was elated. So to watch him, just plummet, man. His last 5 losses. TJ Dillashaw by knockout, second round. TJ Dillashaw by knockout, first round. Pedro Munoz, knockout, first round. Then he got a dub against Rafael Assunção. Then unanimous decision loss to Rob Font. And now at 125 at flyweight, a knockout by Kai Kara France. And nothing to take away against Kai Kara France, but he's no world beater. I love him because he's on, he's on City Kickbox with Israel Adesanya, but Kai Kara France is, he's on his way up. He's 6-2 in the UFC. He's on his way up, but before this fight, he was just 2-2 in his last 4 fights, so it's not like he was on no crazy streak. He was win, loss, win. It was loss, win, loss, win. So it wasn't like he was on, he had fighting through some adversity, so this was the perfect fight for Cody Garbrandt to drop down and show that he still had it. But I don't know what to say about him. He's chinny now. Like that TJ Dillashaw, man. I don't know if it broke his confidence or what, but something has to change, and to let go of a star like that, but I just don't think he's going to be able to hang with the elites right now, and it's tough to think of, a former champion, 2016, he was the champion of the world, dominated Dominic Cruz, and Dominic Cruz still looking, he just, Dominic Cruz chinny. But he's, that cardio is crazy. His heart is something different. I'm not saying Cody has no heart, nothing like. I'm not saying that at all. But Dominic Cruz has been hurt in his last, 3-4 fights. Henry Cejudo, boom, 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 knocked that boy, got that boy out of that. Casey, rocked him a little bit. Kennedy. And to think that, TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt, after the TJ Dillashaw fight, he's been a scrub. Let's keep it a buck. It sucks to say I love Cody Garbrandt, but to talk or to speak as he has been doing something that he hasn't, it wouldn't be fair, to the other fighters, because he's basically been a scrub. He's 1-5 in his last 6 fights. That tells you all you need to know. And I will touch on Kai Kara France. He called out for a title shot. But in my what fights I'm gonna be making a video is gonna be tomorrow. What's the next fights for the winners of the UFC? I don't know. I don't think I want to do like a winners losers type video, or maybe that would be, I'm gonna write that down. Maybe that could be, for like I have what fights to make next on a Monday, then what fights winners and losers are Tuesday, or maybe switch that around. But yeah, so that's my take right now on the Cody Garbrandt. That's he might need to be cut, and I'm just keeping it in the buck. I'm just trying to keep it as honest as possible with you. But I think I've been at that topic for about 10 minutes, so we're gonna move on to the next one, which is a quick one. It's just I'm gonna make this just 1 to 2 minutes. So this is the next topic. John Anik is greater than Mike Goldberg. I don't know why that came to me while I was watching the event, but John Anik, when he first came out, I was like, who is this guy? Why would they release but they saw something. And just hearing, in the pre-fight interviews, Dominic Cruz sitting there talking glowingly about John Anik. Maybe that was something that, triggered while I was watching, and I was paying a little bit more attention to it, which I always do. I love John Anik. I love JA. But I just was thinking I loved Mike Goldberg while he was commentating for the UFC, but the in-depth knowledge that John just gives you, it's unmatched. I, it leaves you speechless. It's one of those things that going forward you cannot have the he's becoming synonymous. Oh man, I can't even say the word. Like, he's becoming just one-on-one. Like, I can't now mess this up. I can't edit this out. I cannot edit this out because we mess up. Nothing is perfect. I want people to know that. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. But he's become just, you can't have commentating without John Anik. And I'm pretty sure in the comments somebody probably like, synonymous. There we go. You see, if me saying it, I can't say it, but I'm saying somebody else saying it is easy to say. So, yeah. So John Anik is one of those voices that he's become the voice of the octagon, just like Bruce Buffer. You know, I don't think he reached those levels yet, but he's on his way. You cannot have, you know, commentary without John Anik, and I just love. He's brilliant. Thank you, UFC, for, you know, putting JA in that position, because it's a different level of commentating now. And that's thanks to JA. Like, he knows, bro. He knows stuff. Like, he does his homework. That's what Dominic Cruz said. He does his homework. The amount of time he put in the film room. I want to be like that. You know, I want to be able to you know things that, you know, the regular fighter doesn't know. So that's just a quick take on John Anik, and he's amazing. He's amazing. So we're gonna switch gears to from, I wanted to do, you know, like Cody and then this next one, but I had to throw that John Anik in there because he's just amazing. Let me pull it up right quick. I thought I had it. Like, this is another one I thought I had up, but I don't. So it's cool. Let me just go from here. And let's get it popping. 3-1 in his last 4 fights. If you ask him, he's still undefeated. We have the amazing 420 himself, Sean O'Malley, you know, the Sugar Show. And looking at his record, I know people, you know, the average fan won't know some of these people, but I'm not the average fan. I watch every UFC event. I watch from pre-fight prelims. I'm talking about prelims all the way to, you know, the main card. I watch it all. So some of these names on this list I know, but the average fan won't know. And just to be honest, you know, it's time. It's time. He's going to be in my video next fights to make. But Sugar Sean O'Malley, it's time, bro. He's been a friend. He's been, you know, fighting on that fringe, you know, top 25, top 20 type fighters. And when he went against, you know, somebody of, you know, that upper echelon, that next level, he lost. Whether he admitted or not, if you get injured in there and you unable to go, you lost. That's an L. Keep it a buck. I love Sugar. I love when he came in against who was it he came up against? I think it's Jose Quinones. I think that was that fight when he had was it? Or was it Andres? I think it was Andres Smoker. How you ever say his name? When he, like, all the dude had to do was make Sean stand up, and he would have literally, because his ankles And I was like, oh, this kid is, something special. I was like, oh, snap, to, fight through that adversity like that so Palva, it was short work, bro. He didn't know what to do in there. He offered little to no resistance. He threw like, I don't even know how many shots he threw. It wasn't a lot though. He landed 11. It wasn't. It's nothing. So it's about time. I'm gonna go more into detail. In that who he should fight. He was spectacular. He looked amazing. Like, what do you want me? What more do you want me to say about him? Like, he was spectacular. He had his shots. The feints were. That's one of the things that I love about Sean O'Malley is his striking. It's just next world. It's next level shit. Excuse my French. The feints, the setups, the constant switching. It's just amazing. He fakes with the hips. He fakes with the front kicks. He throws his shoulder, act like he's throwing his shoulder. And actually, when he he fakes with his shoulder, but when he throws, it's just straight. It's just like a piston. That's the weird thing. People, he. But then he'll just throw, boom. He doesn't show that motion when he throws, but he gets people to faint or to react to the so it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch Sean O'Malley Sugar. I'm just gonna say Sugar for to watch Sugar. Just strike. I enjoy watching his fights, and I think it's time. I want to see what he got against the next. What's next? He can't. He's out. Palva was ranked 15, and then he lost his ranking for some reason. It's like, okay, it seemed like it was like, okay, if he's not ranked 15, we don't have to send Sugar up further. We can, dilly dally a little bit around. So so it's weird. It's just weird. But I need him upward. And when I do my who should fight, I'm gonna have a couple fighters that I already have a couple fighters in mind that I would like him to see, but I'm not gonna spoil that. But yeah, so to end that segment, man, he looked amazing, and it's time for him to fight up. So now we're going to go straight into the co-main event, which was as I expected. I felt like this fight was going to end in 2 ways. 3 ways technically, but I felt that it was going to be either a knockout by Amanda Nunes first round, or a TKO submission from there on. After the first round, I didn't have Amanda doing anything else. I felt that Amanda was going to gas. And hear me out. I'm not sure how many people follow her, or she's a world champ, but a lot of people don't literally follow her fights. A lot of people do not follow her fights, but if you remember, it's been almost 3 years since she's been down to 135. And to lose that extra weight, just like if you used to being higher, Cody Garbrandt, you used to being higher, and then you're not used to cutting all that weight, that's gonna affect you. That's gonna affect you big time. If you ever cut weight, how it's exhausting, especially when it becomes a mind thing too. It's crazy. So when you used to your last 3 cuts, you've been all I gotta do is get to 145. All I gotta do is get 145. And then when you get to that, your next fight, even though you've done it multiple times, but you go down and it's like, you're at 140. Oh, I got to do 5 more pounds. 130, 136. I got to get that last pound. It's exhausting. It's taxing on the brain. And she even said, post fight, I just checked out. I checked out of there. Before it was cinched up tight. She tapped. Juliana broke her. You can clearly see she was just throwing like, please hit. When she was throwing like, please go to sleep. Please go to sleep. It was just, she wasn't as the great Izzy. She didn't aim and fire. She threw and hope. Broke her. We know Juliana has a gas tank. We know that. That's fact. She's a dog. She's a dog, and it's just one of those things. Which I thought she was going to retire. She has a lot going on with her family now. Her daughter, having stuff going back on in Brazil. A lot of stuff going back on in Brazil. And Dana said in his post-fight conference, she's paid. If she wanted to leave right now, money would not be a problem. That's out of Dana White's mouth. And that's her boss. So he knows, what, the UFC has given her, not counting her, what she has done in the, as I say, the off season when they're not fighting. People would, what's the word? Their opportunities, if we just say opportunities in their sponsorships and things of that nature outside of the octagon. I call that the off season. For me, that's the off season. When they're making money on the side, that's their off season. Their promotions, their sponsorships and stuff like that. Who knows how many, Modelo, she had one with Modelo. I've seen several, things with Amanda Nunes. So it's up to her. She has the 145 belt. With that, the allure of her losing gone, that 145 division does not have a lot of people in it. What's that? I forgot her name. I've been paying attention to a little. Catherine. I want to say Anderson, but I don't think that Kathleen Anderson. I forgot her name. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I could easily look it up, but I don't want to too much harp on that because that fight is kind of like it's gone. It's gone for right now, and that 145 division is probably going to be gone. Especially if Amanda Nunes retire. I'm not putting Amanda Nunes retiring. I'm not going to use that as a clickbait type title either. But that's one of the things I thought, especially when she beat. So I remember, I will not forget this. I think it's 2017. Let me check right quick. I think it was 2017. 2016. Wow, 2016. But I remember back in 2016, I was still living in Daytona, Florida. I was watching the UFC. It was UFC 200. Oh, wow. UFC 200. I was watching UFC 200, and I thought to myself, was that fight? I think it was that fight. When she broke Miesha Tate. Broke her nose, just demolished her. And I called my little brother. I was like, Miesha Tate is going to retire. I guarantee Miesha Tate, because when she got hit, she didn't want to be there anymore. And I didn't get that fully from Amanda, but it was like, wow, she's folding, she's breaking. I seen it, and you can see it in her eyes. She was panicking. She was breathing hard. You ever fought? I fought in Taekwondo. I did Taekwondo tournaments. When you panic, it's like your stamina bar, it goes down so much quicker because you're breathing so much harder. It's just like it's so difficult. when you're doing those things and you don't throw your techniques right, you're thinking too much. It's like your brain just go haywire. And I just seen her. It was time. So I'm not sure what she goes next for. Hopefully it's the rematch. I would love to see the rematch. I would like to see if Juliana Pena has what it takes to, defeat a hungry lioness. Especially, being her making that weight, having to doing it again, being more comfortable staying at a lower weight. Hopefully, for that fight camp that would be coming up. And it looks like it's probably going to be sometime, maybe July. Maybe because it's just like you win the world title. Hey, we're taking a break. That's what the last few champions have done. Hey, I won the title, I won the championship. I'm taking a break. And it's rightfully so. How much focus and stuff probably had to go into that and stuff like that. So I would like to see that. Hopefully it's a rematch on the horizon. And I would like to that one is kind of easy. That one, that's going to be that's the rematch. That's what needs to happen. So it is what it is. Oh, one other thing, just a little tidbit that I seen when I was watching the broadcast on somebody on Twitter. Some dude, whole bunch of money, which you could have just gave that money to me. But some guy had bought. He had purchased a ticket for $300K. And he was only going to win $25K off of that 300,000K, 300K, and he bet on Amanda and lost horribly. So that sucks, but it is what it is. And what you probably here for the final thing that I have to talk about today, as we're approaching 30 minutes. Wow, time flies. But the last thing that we're here to talk about, who I had winning the fight. What did I say? What do I do? Let me see if I, without. Let me see. And block that out. This is. Can you see that? Can you see it? That's who I had on that fight. When a lot of people, I love Charles because I watched Charles grow. I watched him, step. I watched him. Always love Charles Oliveira. I always loved Charles Oliveira. He was one of my, favorite fighters, because of his style. It was something special to watch. And to see him flourish, grow so much, and now it's just, flourishing. I love it. I love it. It's one of the things that one of those narratives, one of those stories. I'm gonna say first, one of those stories that you watch him come into the octagon. His first fight was in 2010, August 1st, 2010. Darren Elkins. Then Efren Escudero. Wow, I didn't even know he went against him. And then for him to have those two fights in the UFC, and then go on a 2-fight losing streak, basically because it was the no contest. It was a overturned fight against Nick Lentz. Then him to go on to another 2 wins, and then him to lose against Cub. That weird, he hit him and kind of, rocked him, and then to watch him, fight through adversity. This is the narrative like he's a quitter. You taking losses like that? Hey, I'm quitting, bro. This is not the sport for me. Let me get out of here. No, that was not the case. He fought through adversity already early in his career. And a lot of people, because of the losses against Max Holloway, which he had an injury. Like, a stinger, like in football, we see players lay on the ground several minutes, 5-10 minutes on the ground with just a stinger. Imagine that happened in the octagon. You can't use your arm. What are you supposed to do? So things like that, little things like that, broken orbital. I've never had, any broken bones in my face, but we see when people get broken orbital bones and stuff like that, their face swells immediately. So we sit up here because we're not in that cage. We're not, sustaining those injuries, and we just, we paint a narrative. We paint a false narrative, obviously, that the man can't take a punch. He's been in there with the like of Cub Swanson, Frankie Edgar, Jeremy Stevens, Max Holloway, Anthony Pettis, Ricardo Lamas. These are hitters, man. These are losses. He took losses to these people. Anthony Pettis, guillotine. Ricardo Lamas, guillotine. Like, this is adversity. He has losses, man. Paul Felder, some of the most nastiest elbows I've ever seen. And he went back into the lab and got to it. So, saying all that, and then watching him, last loss, Paul Felder. Paul Felder is now retired. Nothing against Paul Felder. He's now retired. 2017 last loss. We're in 2021, baby. He hasn't lost since. And he's been dominating people. Not just, beat him. He's been dominating people. Finish after finish after finish. And to put out that narrative, because some people just like Dustin more. Some people don't watch Charles Oliveira. Some people, don't know about the man's backstory. Don't know about the man's history. But to sit up there and put out this narrative that the man can't fight, which he's been rocked. He got rocked against Kevin Lee. Battled back, submitted him. Jim Miller submitted him first round. Savvy vet, like, Jim Miller don't get finished like that. Jim Miller don't get finished like that. Flash Gordon, he was starting to show you the power. Nick Lentz, he was trying to show you, I got power. So that narrative that they had, and I love Dustin. I'm not here to shit on Dustin at all. But Dustin was broken. He broke Dustin. Dustin went back to his corner and said, I don't want him to take my back. If that doesn't sound like a broken man to me, I don't know what does. Because the exact same way Khabib got him. He's like, he told Mike Brown in his corner, I can't get the man off me. He got his back and he choked him out. Same exact way. I love me some Diamond. I love the Diamond. But that's fact. That's fact. So the whole time, this whole week, this whole couple months that we've been well, not me, but the media has been painting that picture that Charles Oliveira is a quitter. He wants to get out of there. That man been different. that man, me and my homeboy, we kid about, Charles Blonde, Super Saiyan Bronson is a thing. Super Saiyan Charles Oliveira is a thing. That is a real thing. I probably need to dye my hair blonde, man. I get those Super Saiyan powers, bro. Because that's the thing. The man has, like, you ever see somebody and it's like they're always slumped over and stuff like that? You be like, man, that man's posture is poor. He probably don't get no girls. The man walks out with his chest out. He has that he has that champion's mentality. He is a champion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This man is on a 10 fight win streak, bro. most finishes in the UFC, most submission finishes in the UFC. The man is a bona fide star finisher. Like, it's crazy. If he keep this going, he's going to be talked about with the likes of the Jose Aldos, the Anderson Silvas, the Brazilian champions that wreck some shit. So that was false narrative, man. And he fought through adversity again. Like, some people, Dustin is, a power puncher. He hits hard. And when he hit Conor McGregor, everybody was saying, "Oh, he beat Conor McGregor back twice over." Conor is not the same Conor. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 300. As my boy YG 400s. But yeah, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. Conor's not the same fighter. Nobody fears Conor like they once did. That is not 145 Jose Aldo Conor, 145 Max Holloway Conor. That's not the same person. It's not. So to give him more credit for those two fights, when we have him knocking out Michael Chandler, dominating Tony Ferguson, choking out Kevin Lee, knocking out Flash Gordon, I know Nick Lentz, David Tamir, how you say his name? Tamer. There we go. David Tamer. Like, the man has been on a mission. The man has literally been on a mission. So it's just crazy to think that, well, some people made some money. They cash some checks. I don't think, maybe if he's going to be there, because it's easy pickings, low hanging fruit, because they already said that Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. That's the next fight. That's the fight that makes sense. That's the next fight to make. So I would like to talk about that fight a little bit more. But I don't know, because that's easy. You already know that's coming up. But yeah, man, beautiful fight card. Like anything I had to say, please like, comment, subscribe. It's been a pleasure. Peace and much love to you.